You make mistakes, I make mistakes, it's okay. But let's stop making mistakes here in Infinite Galaxy. My name is Shinchi42. We create regular Infinite Galaxy in this channel. So if you want to subscribe for more IG content, consider subscribing here, my intergalactic friends. Today we're going to talk about mistakes in Infinite Galaxy that I completely regret doing these in the beginning, but it is part of the process. And with that being said, in this video, we're going to teach you how you can fix these mistakes as well, so that you will never have to go through what I'm going through, especially if you are a brand new player, or maybe you are doing a restart on your Infinite Galaxy because you're enjoying the game and you want to dominate in Infinite Galaxy. So the first mistake that I have done is not making farm accounts. And I feel like this has to be the #1 mistake that I have ever done. In the beginning, I think up to like CC26 or CC27, I did not have a single farm account. So I wasted a good amount of months playing Infinite Galaxy without a farm account, where other players have developed their farm accounts and now they can even gather plasma in their farm account. Meanwhile, I just started my farm account maybe a month or two ago, and I haven't really been putting a lot of effort and time into it, which now I am doing my best to work onto my farm account. So as you guys can see in here, my farm account here is TIK Shinchi. So I'm doing my best here to get my farm account up to speed so that I can get a lot of plasma. As you guys know, plasma is going to be a big issue as you grow your command center. So if you don't know this yet, I want to let you know, plasma is your best friend in Infinite Galaxy. Now, as you're watching this video, I want you to leave in the comment section below, if you're an old player, what are the 5 biggest mistakes that you have done in Infinite Galaxy? Now, I know I've heard players said this, they're reluctant to share information, which I don't understand why. They're reluctant to share information because they don't want to share it to new players to succeed. Hey, I'm telling you this, if everybody learns how to play this game and everybody learns to succeed into this game, then this game will grow and your gaming will also grow, because as the game gets better, because more players are enjoying, then the community becomes better. That's all I want to say. So share your 5 biggest mistakes. Let's help the new players that are coming in, and let's dominate here in Infinite Galaxy. So really, I'm not done with this yet. The farm account, you gotta get it up to speed to be able to gather or mine plasma, and as well as mine in the planets. Okay, let's say you've created your farm account. All you need to do is have multiple device, or what you can do is you can go into the settings, you can go into a manage account, and you can do your switch account, meaning you have to create a new game within your account, and then you can switch. Another thing that you can do, if you have a BlueStacks, which is the approved emulator for Infinite Galaxy, with BlueStacks, within that you can create a multi-instance, meaning you can open up multiple BlueStacks and running with multiple different emails or Facebook. Then you can create your farm account that way. Another thing that you can do if you don't want to create a farm account is something that I have done, and I'm going to share you this little secret. There are players who quit the game, which like Senpai and as well as Apostle of God. Now, these 2 accounts, they were our initial players, but they said that they are done playing the game for now. They might come back in the future, but I said, hey, while you're away, I will take good care of your account. I'll try to level up as much as I can, but at the same time, I will raid your spaceport for plasma. So what I use for these 2 accounts, which I have on my computer, I use them for mining plasma specifically. Since my farm account is unable to mine plasma at this moment, my farm account actually mines nickel for now. So asking for other players' account is totally acceptable. If they're not going to use it, it'll be a total waste. And there's other accounts in here that we haven't really got yet, so it's kind of a waste. But hopefully we'll be able to obtain some of the old accounts so that we can use it, because they've already put time and effort into it, and it's just so much more beneficial if you have these old accounts, in my opinion. Mistake #2 that I have done, and I kind of regret it, but at the same time not really regret the whole decision, because I love my setup right now. So majority of you guys who are watching, I know what you guys are gonna say. The meta is to cruisers, right? There's a reason why for cruisers. For cruisers, it really performed well on events. Now, there are now, with the game mechanics, the change of game mechanics about the attacking of cruisers, attacking of destroyers and frigates, now it's different from the initial. But there's still events where cruiser still benefits, like the Purity Protocol. Now, investing in the cruisers, meaning it has the longer range, right? Now, when it comes to battle, I wouldn't say that cruisers, when it comes to PvP, I wouldn't say cruisers is meta. I wouldn't say frigates is meta. I wouldn't say destroyers is meta. Because every single warship types in Infinite Galaxy has their own advantages and disadvantages. So I don't think one is meta when it comes to PvP. But when it comes to PvE, if you're trying to win some of these rewards, the cruisers does have a little bit of an edge, especially on the event called Purity Protocol. All right. So cruisers in the Purity Protocol allows you to gain more points because the cruisers are the last one to get defeated, as you have to go through the frigates, destroyers, and then it's going to be cruisers. So when it comes to PvP, it doesn't matter. All right. So I do regret not really focusing onto the cruisers. I'm kind of saying that in the terms of PvE scenario. But PvP scenario, I don't have any regrets on my destroyers at all. Number 3, huge mistake that I did initially that cost me a lot. Majority of you guys will lean into the command initially because you're going to think about, oh, with the command, I can increase a huge amount of fleet leadership and as well as focusing onto the flagships buff. I'm telling you this right now as you're starting into the game. That is the wrong move. And I'm telling you this based on my experience. The best move to work into is going for combat and as well as in tech. This is where you're going to get your raw buff for your warships. You want to focus onto the total warship buffs. So as you can see here in combat and as well as in tech, you will get these total warship buff that will help you to succeed in Infinite Galaxy. Now, boosting up your command is not really going to benefit you if you don't have, you don't have good buff for your warships. Even for your core module, biggest mistake, I was like so hung up on command. I'm like, oh, let's increase the leadership. Let me focus onto the flagship because, the flagship is like the main ship that you're using. But really, it's incorrect because flagship is only one. When you're using your warship, there's thousands of warship, I would say. So focus onto your weapon in here. Like I said, focus onto the warship buff first before focusing onto the command, all right? You don't want to be like a jacked up, really buffed up, guy with all just a bunch of air. That's what it is. If you're focusing on command first, you're a muscular guy that is on steroids and you really got nothing, right? You don't got that pure, real, hard-worked muscle, in my opinion. I don't even know. I don't use steroids, so maybe my reference is bad. But just stay away from command first. Focus onto the weapon. And then once you've filled up the weapon, then you can start increasing your leadership and then focusing onto your flagship buff as well. Same concept with the crew. Don't make the same mistake. Avoid the flagship. Avoid the leadership. Focus onto the warship buff or the weapon buff. Like for lasers, kinetic, and missile. Those buff will serve you long-term value. And especially if you're specific setup in here, like for me, I'm more into the laser at the moment, which I think I will have to switch as I reach T10. So Bruno has to really rank up because I am going to switch into missiles as I reach T10 of my destroyers. But I will be needing my lasers anyway for my cruisers because I'm going to be more of a destroyer cruiser setup based on my ability that I can do. Fourth mistake in here that I've mentioned this multiple times in my other videos. I don't know if you guys have seen them yet. Focus on one flagship at a time, which I preach this, but yet I made the mistake because I get baited so much. I could have maxed out my Hades at this moment, which I did not. I put it onto Titan, some of them. I put 1,000 blueprints into Titan. I wasn't thinking very clearly. I was trying to approach other things. So I got very distraught on my approach. So I highly recommend that if you're working onto your flagship, regardless if it is gold or purple or if it's blue, focused on one flagship at a time, it will serve you much more value in the long term. Because imagine if you are spread out too thin and your main flagship is not up to par against other commanders out there, then you're gonna get wrecked because your flagship is too spread out. Most of the time that you're going to battle, you're only going to use your one best flagship or two best flagships. Sorry. So you want to focus one at a time. So let's say if I'm working on to my Hades and Odysseus, I want to focus onto my Hades first, and then I will then focus onto my Odysseus. Right. So you want to give one flagship a little bit more priority. So like for my Hades, you can see it's a rank 13, I'm going to 14. And my Odysseus is only about rank 9 or rank 10. Right. So I did try to focus on both a little bit. But my main focus, the main idea here is you want to put everything on one first. So if you're not a huge spender, I've spent money into the game. Let's say you're using a purple and a gold. So you want to make sure you're honed into one gold, one purple. And then you can use those together to succeed in Infinite Galaxy. Now, this is one of my other biggest and newest mistake I have ever done in Infinite Galaxy. When I first started into the game, I did not know what planet mining was. I just like, oh, there's planets, there's resources. I wasn't used to this type of game. I never did planet mining. If I'm being honest with you, my alliance members would testify to you that they would say, yeah, Shinchi actually never did planet mining. I did not have a clue. So this is why I'm, speaking in here, trying to teach you guys. If you're a new player, the planet mining gives you a lot of resources. So if we look into some of the planets in here, I probably cannot find any single. Oh, I was able to find some planets in here. Actually, I'm mining a planet. Planet level 6. All right. So the planet in here gives you an hourly production. I have a specific video for this. I believe there's links in the description. So if you want to find and watch a specific video regarding planet mining and how you can succeed in planet mining, watch that video in the description. Now, do your planet mining as soon as you get started into the game, because this will give you a lot of resources. When you do your planet mining, you're gonna have 500 energy. You want to use that. I also have my, you have to make sure that you have the right miners as well for this one. There are flagships that are going to say planet development. There are going to be stats that are going to say planet development. You want to utilize those buff and use them into the planet mining. Like again, there is a video for it, so I want you to watch that because I feel like the video that we've made before is tremendously very helpful, and it gives you a lot of in-depth information for planet mining. Just to get the general idea of this, when you get started into the game, mine planets. It's very important. I lost a lot of resources by not mining in the planets. With that being said, my intergalactic friends, this is my 5 biggest mistakes in Infinite Galaxy. Which one do you think is the worst mistake that I have ever done in Infinite Galaxy? Leave it down in the comment section below, and also I want to hear what is your 5 biggest mistake in Infinite Galaxy. Anyway, I will see you again next time. Hopefully you are enjoying Infinite Galaxy, and subscribe and turn your notification on.